Hello, and thank you for joining me today on Success Made Simple. As we are going through an amazing process here of discovering your God-given purpose, I want to invite you, if you've not already done so, to go to KarenConrad.net, download my free Discover Your Purpose test, and we are methodically going through it in this series of Success Made Simples. So today we're going to cover number 7 and number 8. Here is the question that I want you to answer in discovering your purpose. What are job, businesses, activities are you doing today that you feel is in line with God's purpose for your life? So when you look at the things that maybe you do at home, maybe you do at work, maybe you are volunteering for something, what are those activities, the businesses, the jobs, the things that you do that you feel are in line with God's purpose for your life? And then I want you to take those and answer, what do you most like about doing each of those items? Let me give you an example. When I lived in Minnesota, one of the things that I loved to do that was a volunteer activity was to teach in an inner city church children's ministry at a place called Compassion Center. And it was really an amazing experience. We actually did this for 10 years. But when I look back on it, it's something that I realize now that it was that vision to reality that really gave me like the passion to work down in this church, in this mission outreach. Let me explain that to you. I had taught children's ministry at Living Word Christian Center for several years before this, and I loved it. I walked into the situation. It was all organized. We had all the curriculum. If I needed puppets, if I needed art, if I needed snacks, all I had to do is write it out, turn it in, and kind of just show up, be prepared. But everything was there, and it was very laid out, very methodically, with guidelines, procedures. Everything was really clear as to how we were to carry out children's ministry. Now, Compassion Center, let me explain that to you. There was no organized children's ministry. There was no organized lessons. Basically, what we had to do is take teachings and develop our own curriculum. And if I wanted puppets, for the most part, I had to bring them. Or if I wanted snacks, I needed to bring those. And it certainly developed as we went along because we grew and it became more successful. But to start out, I would actually take Andrew Wommack's study guides and I would make them into curriculum for children, and I would plan out the activities that I would carry out in these classes, which had to go from 2-year-olds all the way up to like 6th graders, because we were all in one room when we started out, which, when you think about it, on top of a career, on top of being a mom, was a lot of work. But I loved it. So why was it? Because when I look at children's ministry, that was all organized and was very easy to just show up and I had everything, versus having to create something from ground level and create systems, it would seem much more practical or easy for me to just continue teaching in a very organized fashion where everything was set up. But what was really causing me to love doing this and bringing out my excitement and my passion with it was to kind of create that new path and build things from the ground up. So when I look back on that time, had I been aware and had a evaluation like this, I would have looked at that and said, what is it about that I love to do, even though it seems really difficult? And I would have been able to say, you know what? Because I love creating something and bringing vision to reality. So I want you to think back on what you're doing right now, even though it doesn't seem practical to other people. But what makes you feel successful, and what are you doing that you feel is contributing or in line with your God-given purpose? And I want you to list out why you love to do those things. Thank you so much for joining me today on Success Made Simple. And on the next one, we're going to go through number 9, 10, and 11, and we're going to finish up how to help you discover your purpose.